Thank you, Judge. We would ask the court to take judicial notice of its file, and also to make the service plans that were filed with the court an order of this court for the parents to comply with in order to potentially regain custody of their children. It looks like mom has started, that she is in rehab, and I think everything is going well with the child. Miss Yolanda, since filing your report, has dad contacted you? Have you been in touch with him? Has he done any services? I know that those were a lot of questions.
That's okay. So dad hasn't yet. He has his OSAR appointment on the 24th, is what he told me. I gave him the phone number for BIP to contact them. And I don't know if he has. He has sporadic drug testing. Doesn't always call into the drug line. So that's where we are on that.
Okay. And it looks like the child is with the grandparents. Is that right?
That's correct.
And what are your recommendation as to Miss Long when she is released from rehab? Where will she be staying, or what do you recommend happen?
So since Miss Long and Mr. Olson are no longer together, I recommend that she go and live with her parents where Willow is for that bonding. Willow's still an infant. Miss Long has been doing what she said she's going to be doing. She has been proactive. She went into rehab, contacted the rehab center on her own. So it looks like she is motivated, though she'd have to comply with the rules of her parents and CPS, of course.
And what would supervision look like if she were to move in there?
So she would not be left alone with the child. There would be 24-hour supervision. She cannot leave with the child. She must complete her services, let her parents know where she's going, to build that trust with them. So that's what that would look like.
And if Miss Long started using drugs again or stopped doing services, what would need to happen at that time?
She would need to leave the residence.
Okay. And are the grandparents protective enough to ensure that she leave the residence and that she be supervised at all times?
Yes, they would be. And I trust that they would ask her to leave right away. They have set boundaries with her. And so they're very protective of Willow.
Okay. And have you spoken with the grandparents about this plan if the court orders it?
Yes.
Okay. What about visitation for Mr. Long? What does that look like?
Mr. Olson?
Sorry. Yes, Mr. Olson.
That's all right. So visitation, since I do not know, we haven't had any drug tests recently since the 26th of January. He would have to have I would recommend he have 3 consecutive negative UAs before he can visit Willow, and then it'd be supervised visitation at the CPS office.
Okay. And is that what you're asking the court to order today?
Yes.
Okay. No further questions of this witness.
Anybody have any questions of Ms. Griffith?
I do, Judge.
Okay, Ms. Lang.
Hi, Yolanda and Corey. Today I'm representing, I'm here for Angela Dowdle, your attorney, and Corey, so you're aware. So Yolanda, you're talking about the things that Corey has or hasn't done. I was reviewing his service plan. It appears he also is supposed to start individual therapy. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and have you provided the contact information for Deb Tabor to Mr. Olson?
Not yet. No, I haven't.
What is your plan to get that done?
My plan is to meet with him, and I have a meeting with him this week, and I'm sorry I don't have my calendar, to go over that service plan because he needs to sign it, and so we can.
Can you find your calendar, please, so we can be clear on that? While you're doing that, is he going to also be doing the parenting class through Deb Tabor?
I believe I have Dewana Flowers on there.
In
For
your service
parents?
plan, you listed, in the service
Deb
plan, you
Tabor?
listed Deb Tabor.
Okay, so then it'd be Deb Tabor.
Okay.
And so let's take a look. Mm, You know what? It does not look, I had an appointment with him. Let me see, hold on. Let me take a look at this. It's all messed up.
Sure.
So I don't, and I apologize for that. I don't. I have been in contact with him. I think we're finding a date where it will work with his schedule at work. So would it be have to be after work? So that is something that I'm going to be finalizing with him.
Sure. So, is it fair to say that by the end of this week, you'll have that finalized?
Yes. I'm
Okay.
hoping by
And,
Friday.
okay. And you also, in the service plan, you've listed that he is to undergo a psychological evaluation. Have you provided any information to him for that?
No, I haven't.
Okay, and that'll be part of your conversation you have with him?
Yes.
And did, Mr. Olson have any visits earlier in the case? When's the last time you saw Willow?
Are you asking me? Okay. Last time that he seen Willow, I don't have it on me, but it was the last week of January is when he last seen Willow, and he seen it was with Miss Long.
And the drug testing that he did do, was it, what were the results of the drug tests up until the end of January? Did he ever have a positive drug test?
At the beginning of the case, he did.
But since that time, has he had any positive drug tests?
No, he's
Of the
only
ones
had,
he's taken?
yeah, he hasn't taken any drug tests since the 26th of January.
On the 26th of January, what was the result of that test?
Negative.
Okay, so why do you feel like he needs to have 3 clean ones? If his last one he had was negative, would you consider, if he shows up and starts his drug testing, reducing that to 1 or 2 clean UAs prior to visiting with Willow?
I would recommend 3 clean UAs for the reason being that his drug of choice is meth, and she is an infant. And so we know that meth can rub off on clothes. He has, since he separated from Miss Long, I didn't know where he was or where he was staying. I do now. And so my intention is to work with him more closely now that I know where he is, but I would recommend 3 clean UAs before he has visits with Willow.
So if he's had 2 clean UAs, you feel like the stuff that would rub off on him would still come off? Isn't that beyond what the science says for the latency effect of the methamphetamine if it's transmitted superficially?
I don't know, but I still would recommend 3 clean UAs.
Okay. All right, I'll pass the witness.
Ms. Long is participating in a parenting class at the center that she's at. Are you familiar enough to know if that could count for her parenting class that she's supposed to take on her service plan?
Yes, I'd look at it, and yes, definitely. I mean, she's doing rehab and parenting at the same time.
Okay, all right.
The court report that you filed with the court shows that on January 26, 2023, Mr. Olson actually tested positive for marijuana. Isn't that right?
Oh, that's correct. Yes, I apologize. Yes, he did.
And so my other thing is, are you able to send an email to Mr. Olson and his attorney with the contact information for all of his service providers?
Yes, I can.
Okay. And can you do that before you meet with him on Friday?
Yes.
Thank you very much. No further questions.
Miss Griffith, has Miss Long signed a release for you to be able to confer with the folks at her rehab center?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. Thank you. Okay, Miss Bennett, what do you need?
I mean, we're just asking, Your Honor, my client gets out on March 9th. Originally, we thought it was March 10th, but she confirmed yesterday or the day before that it was going to be March 9th. And we're just asking the court to go along with the plan where she can move in with her parents and follow all the rules. I think they can be mutually beneficial to each other. She can help them out with all the stuff with the baby, and they can give her some kind of lessons on how to take care of a new baby. So I think it would help everyone. And then Kayla said that she would like to say something. I'm needs to be really short though, Kayla, but I don't know if you want me to let her do that real quick.
She can say something.
Okay, Kayla.
I just kind of wrote something. It's not very long, that I would just like to read to the board if that's okay.
As long as your lawyer's okay, I'm okay.
Okay. It just says, I would like the opportunity just to say thank you. Thank you to CPS and the attorneys, especially mine and Willow's and CASA and my parents, for looking after the best interest of my daughter, Willow. I am learning so much at Nexus. I'm learning coping skills, emotional regulation, parenting, and healing from past traumas, and a new way of life and recovery. The greatest thing I've done is forgive myself for the mistakes I made in the past, for what I've done to Willow and causing my parents to step in and be mom and dad to my daughter. Every day I'm getting better and healthier, not just physically, but mentally. I'm learning to love myself so I can love my daughter to the best of my abilities and to be the best mom I can be. I'm done saying sorry, and I'm done saying I'll never do that again. My words mean nothing now. It's all action. I came to treatment, and I'm so thankful I did. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. Willow deserves to have a sober and healthy mom, and I will do whatever I have to so I can do that. I just want the opportunity to prove that I'm going to be a good mom and a better Kayla. I regret deeply what I've done, but I'm dealing with it now. I just want the chance to show y'all I can be a great mom and that I need my daughter and she needs me.
That's really nice. Thank you. We don't hear that very often, those kind of words very often. But I'm going to tell you, we're going to remember that you said that. Okay. And we're going to hold you to it.
Yes, ma'am.
No, we're going to come get you.
Yes, ma'am.
And I'm sure you're heard that too. And, I'm sure that's really very, but most important to them and to Willow, of course, too, but Willow doesn't understand, I mean, Mr. Olson's tearing up too, so it's important to him and to y'all and your family. And, that's great. Appreciate that. Joseph, you've already learned a couple of things, huh?
Yeah, I've learned a lot since being here. It's being the Dual Diagnosis Center and it helping with my mental health. It was just something I've never dealt with before. It's changed the way I look at everything. It changes the way that I would like to parent Willow, and how to deal with myself and to sit with my feelings and not having to numb them with substances, like learning how to live life like, a normal human being would, and learn that it's okay to have feelings and I don't have to numb them. And it's been such a eye opener, I guess. I've learned a lot since being here, and I really wouldn't change it.
Well, good. Well, some of our folks that go to rehab and learn things and they go, this is what I want to do when I grow up. I want to be a counselor. And, you sound like a smart young lady. And anyway, that would be great. I know you can come back. Open Door would probably love to have you down there help or mentor some of the men and women that Miss Lang knows, I think it's his Joshua House. It's in that place for men. There's plenty of opportunities. Well, there aren't plenty of opportunities down here. So we can definitely use all that you're learning, and you're going to continue to learn. So thank you, Miss Lang.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Okay. Miss Lang, what do y'all need?
I just need to ask Corey a couple of questions, Judge.
Okay.
So, Mr. Olson, Ms. Yolanda shared that she provided the number to BIP, the Batterers Intervention Prevention Program that you're required as part of your service plan. Do you have that number?
Yes, ma'am. I just received it a couple days ago, but I get off work at 4, so I'm just trying to find the right time to contact them. I figured since I'm off today, I can go ahead and contact them today, as well as my assessment for OSAR. They just sent me a text earlier this morning saying that they're going to have to reschedule for my appointment, which was actually on the 23rd. I had already taken the OSAR, but my evaluation came back that I didn't need rehab or whatever. So I decided to retake the OSAR test because I feel the need to go in. So they rescheduled me for the earliest appointment they have, which was the 23rd. Since they're rescheduling now, I'm just going to go ahead and call Serenity House in Fredericksburg and see if they can do an assessment with me over the phone and see if they can get me to a rehab as soon as possible.
Sure, Ms. Yolanda will work with you and help you. And do you have any insurance at this time?
I do not have any insurance, and that's another thing I wanted to mention. I feel that she has kept me very much in the dark and has done bare minimum for me. As far as waiting as long as it takes for me to receive something. The little help that I've had from her, I'm honestly disappointed in my attorney because I've literally talked to the woman one time.
We'll talk about all that. We're gonna get you the support you need to do to tighten this all up for you. And I think that Yolanda has you on her hot list to get in touch with this week. And
Yes.
there's also Serenity House in Abilene as well. So you got a couple of phone calls you can make today and get hopping and rolling. And I'll be following up with Miss Dowdle and she'll support you as well. They did say that your drug testing has been sporadic. And I just need you to be able to share with the court, what is the barrier to that? Do you have the phone number to the hotline? Let me ask you that.
Yes, to the hotline, no, I do not, but it's here in town with me. It's not very far, but I do not have a vehicle. I've been riding around on my bike, you get back and forth to work, and that's my only issue right now is I just started a new job, so I can't just leave randomly when I need.
Corey, where are you working at this time? You got it. And so you don't have the phone number to the hotline that you're supposed to call and see what day you're supposed to go drug testing on a daily basis?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I do have that. Yes.
Okay, very good. And so you understand you're supposed to call that number every day?
Yes, ma'am. And I have been for the last week.
Okay, that's good. All righty. I think that's all I have at this time, Judge. Thanks.
Okay, thank you. CASA. Let's see, Miss Singleton or I have Miss Welch on this one. She here?
I don't see her.
It's Bobby and Andrea. Miss McClure, what would you like to add?
I'm really glad to hear what Mom said, and it sounds wonderful. I mean, these are the words we would expect to hear from somebody who is truly in recovery. And I think that the one thing I want to point out is it sounds good, but we're not going to listen to what you say. We're going to watch what you do. This little girl has the best wardrobe of headbands I've ever seen in my life. And everything else, I've sent Judge pictures of her and she is just adorable. She is being very well taken care of. That little girl is loved to the nth degree. They are very protective. They love their daughter, but they love their granddaughter just a little bit more, which is the way it needs to be right now. And I know that we're working with the grandparents. CASA and I are working with the grandparents and CPS to come up with a very concrete list of rules. No wiggle room, no possible misunderstanding of what they are. So that when she gets out and when she can come live with her mom and dad, there is absolutely no doubt what's expected and no doubt what will happen if she doesn't do what she's supposed to do. So we will continue working on those rules and we will get those solidified so that when she gets out of rehab, we can have her move in and have there be total transparency.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Lane, what do you need?
Your Honor, we have another case up in Llano where the mother came out of rehab and is able to go back home, and she's on a specialized outpatient program with Paula Mays. I didn't know if we wanted to. I'm not on this case, but it seems like it'd be really on point if they could recommend Kayla going and getting involved in that.
Okay. Okay, y'all, here's the order of the court. I will approve the service. Everybody get out pens, or here's our court dates. Our first permanency hearing is 5/16. Our next one after that, 8/29. Our trial, if we get that far, is 11/21/23, and our dismissal date is Christmas, 12/25/23. Parents, y'all have service plans. You got to comply. Your parental rights could be subject to termination. Y'all already know them. Y'all have talked about them plenty and understand what you got to do. I'm going to say if Ms. Long successfully completes inpatient rehab, right, inpatient, she can move in with her parents. She must follow all attorney, CPS, CASA, maternal grandparents, rules and regulations, and court orders. Or she is to immediately leave. Mr. Olson can visit after 2 clean consecutive UAs and then is agreed by CPS and items. CPS is to investigate Ms. Long also getting into open door outpatient recovery program. I think that's a good idea. Let me see. I think that's everything. Mr. Olson, you're a little bit behind Miss Long, but it sounds like you're motivated and get on it. If you ever need if you need something, you can always talk to Miss Welch. She's CASA. You can call your lawyer. You can call Miss McClure. You know, they can help also. Now, Miss McClure's not your lawyer. She's Willow's lawyer, but you know, if you get in a kind of a roadblock, everybody wants to help. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, I work a lot, and I'm not very good with that whole technology thing. Normally Kayla does all that for me, unfortunately. But yeah, no, if I can get those numbers, that would be great. It would help me out a lot.
Okay. Miss Lang will get you those numbers. She can do that. Y'all can go to breakout room after this, and let's see. She's not on any of the next cases. Y'all go to breakout room and get those numbers. Miss Lang, what do you need?
If you don't mind, Judge, since I am subbing in on this case, if you'll just put in the order that CPS will coordinate with the father by the end of the week on his service plan and all others, all the things that we're committed to. And if Yolanda has a hard time connecting with him, that she will then notify his lawyer. And so everyone stays in the loop and is aware of the breakdowns in communication.
Just so everyone is aware, the report says that Mr. Olson attended the family group conference. And if that's true, then he walked away that day with a copy of all of that information. So I would, in addition, refer him to that packet that he received, the notes from the family group conference, because all of those phone numbers, names, everything should be in that packet.
I don't know if is CASA and attorney ad litem in that packet.
Everybody's given that packet the day of the meeting. Yes, ma'am. Either emailed or a printed out copy, depending on what they prefer.
Well, Miss Lang, you can go to breakout room with him and tell him too.
Sure.
Okay, CPS is to coordinate with Mr. Olson by the end of this week, and if she can't locate him, she has to immediately contact Mr. Olson's lawyer. Okay. Okay, good. Miss Trinidad, if you can put Mr. Oh yeah, one more thing. Our next hearing is 5/16. I don't know if we're going to be in person, but I don't know if we're going to be on Zoom. Does anybody have any opposition to being on Zoom if we can, if I'm still Zooming in May? Everybody's good? Okay, got it written down. Okay, Miss Trinidad, you'll put Mr. Olson and Miss Lang into a breakout room. Mr. Olson, you get a little button and it probably says click on breakout room. I'm like you, I'm technology challenged too, so I don't have a clue. It looks like you're on a phone.